What? You want to go out? Are you excited about something? Yeah? Do you want to go to water? You want to go swim? You want to go, buddy? All right. Let's go. Go ahead. Oh, you love water. Oh, Hammers loves water. Yes, she does. You love water. You guys won't be coming back into the rig anytime soon. Oh, what a beautiful lake. Is it worth? Oh, whoa, that's warm. Oh, man. Oh, that is so nice. That's warm water. Stop drinking it. Colt is a bit of a nervous drinker. Are you enjoying water? Motors loves water. So this is a Sunday. We arrived yesterday on Saturday, and so nobody out here. How lovely. I do have a little bit of a headache, and I think it's because of the smoke. It smells like a campfire in our trailer. So that smell won't be coming out for a while. Oh man, you know what I'm talking about. That, like, you'll have your favorite sweater, and you go have a nice campfire and enjoy yourself, and then that smell lingers for months, or it never comes out truly. Found Emma.
I guess.
So, how was your sleep?
It was good, except for there were a few like really loud cars that drove through at like random times in the middle of the night. They like, you wouldn't expect at a campground that we're the only ones at.
Yeah, that's for sure. And a little bit of thunder, which I woke up for, and she did not. Which is kind of funny. I want to talk today about something that's kind of, I found interesting, because you might know that we've lived this way for a good while, and there's been something that I had done a long time ago that gave me a lot of peace of mind. When I started living in an RV, something that I realized is that, like, I just have to turn off the news.
Yeah.
When you turn off the news, you're not constantly bombarded by, oh my gosh, the world is exploding, and you know, there's constant crisis, and right? And the funny thing is that I know a lot of folks are like, well, how are you informed about anything? And it's like, well, you know, but are you, right? I mean, how much of it is manipulation? How much of it is just, I mean, for lack of a better term, clickbaiting, you know? It's just trying to get your attention so you'll keep buying the product. And sometimes the product is us.
Right.
Now, that's not to say that I don't care about what's going on in the world. I do, but the reality is it doesn't help me nor anybody else if I'm constantly reading the news. There are news apps that will give you notifications. Actually, Apple News will give you notifications. I had turned those off on your phone. I don't know that you ever noticed.
I noticed.
But it's because it doesn't help you, right? The news, half the news is advertisements now, right? Or more than half.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know. It just, what good does it do? Right? We could spend that effort helping those around us, right?
I think part of the problem is that it's all narrated version of the news. It's not necessarily just the truth.
Yeah. Yeah, right. It's all there's a lot of bias. Yeah. And you don't know what to trust. And that goes for like any side of anything, right? This is apolitical. It's everybody's trying to sell you something, right?
An idea or a perspective or an opinion.
Right.
Or a thing.
And there's nothing wrong with, you know, gathering other opinions and facts, like gathering the facts about something. But I think there's a big difference between it being a compulsion that you cannot stop. Every day at this time, you know, we watch the news, right? And now it's gone to our mobile phones where it's like, every 15 minutes I'm checking, every 30 minutes. Oh, I'm on lunch, let me go ahead and like fill my brain with depressing or angering, you know, thoughts of injustice everywhere, right?
And I've known plenty of people that have fallen asleep to the news.
That's sad.
Literally, they just like have it playing while they fall asleep, and like then you're just ingesting that subconsciously.
And it's not good news. None of it is good news, right? And so it's like, what is that? We internalize that.
Yeah.
We totally internalize that. The alternative, at least for me, and I think for us, has been to specifically inform ourselves about something, right? We learn about something. I like to go to YouTube. And then from YouTube, I typically research articles. And because there is a place for news, there's no doubt about it. There's a place for commentary, political, whatever it is, right? There is a place for it. But the reality is that watching it compulsively does not, I don't feel more informed. In fact, I just feel more depressed and angry and concerned and hopeless.
Yeah.
Hopeless. And we know what that does to people.
Right.
It's actually harmful. I had an Instagram account just for, our RV life, van life content when we were, I don't know, it was a couple years ago. And we lost access to that account. And I remember it being a little bit different back then, but I knew it was sort of like, it's easy to, what do you call it, doom scroll. That was before like YouTube Shorts. And so they've developed that, in the coming years, and that has changed things a little bit. But I tried to go back to Instagram. We created a new Instagram account, and it made me so angry. I was just so mad the whole time. I'm like, what are they doing? Right? What is this? And it was one person that I'd followed, like say the national parks. I would follow a national park, and then the very next post would be a suggested for you. Something completely, in my case, irrelevant, but like also, like, what? Who is this person? And then the next one would be an ad, and then the next one is probably something that I had followed, and then the next one would be an account, and then the next suggested, and it was all this crap that, it was never ending. And I think that they've realized that if we believe that it's limitless content out there, we'll never want to leave, because we want to get to the end of like, we don't want more things to be suggested because we never want it to be attainable, right? I think that's fascinating. These guys are loving the water today. Oh goodness. To me, Instagram is really ads and fakeness. People aren't always this happy all the time, right? Or the reality is that on the opposite end, it sells as well, where it's like people that are just like outraged, maybe less on Instagram. We'll get to Tik Tok. But it's like people being outraged about something. It's like, bro, like let's tone it down. Like we've gone too far in the other direction, It's like, it's just Taylor Swift. You know what I mean? It's just, people they're just so like upset about things, and that gets other people upset about things. It's like, it's this crappy spiral. It's like a poop spiral.
Yeah.
As a result, and deciding primarily based on how inorganic the Instagram experience is, right? I follow stuff. Maybe I follow my friends and family. That's not what I see. It's dopamine hit after dopamine and all this crap, and it doesn't do it for me. I don't think that's not really it. And we'll talk about YouTube as well, but before that, we'll talk about TikTok, because from YouTube, we got to TikTok, and you had made a TikTok account because that's what a lot of accounts will do, a lot of creators will do, and I'm like, okay, let me go in here, and it's all of this like overhyped, over bubbly, smiling, like, and it's all this like crap.
It was insane that Joel was rage scrolling.
I was so angry.
Within like 3.5 minutes.
There was one account, and we're talking like people have set, just on TikTok, they've set like entire careers. And I think we probably spent 30 minutes trying to just ingest and understand it. But I did not know that TikTok videos could be 4, 5, 6 minutes long.
I think they've changed that.
Which at that point, why aren't you just on YouTube? Like, whatever.
Because you're on TikTok.
You're on TikTok. It was one of those things where there was an account that this person was talking horribly about their partner. And it was things that like, they were talking, oversharing like we kind of do, right? And we overshare. But there's a solid line where there are a lot of things like I would never say about you.
Right, especially not on the internet.
And it's crazy. It's crazy. So like, couldn't believe it. But not only that, even worse is that they're getting like thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of views. And something like 20 million views total, I think it's like what her channel had. And I'm just thinking about, it was so toxic.
And like the praise and like the yes queens in the comments. Blech.
And some of the things she said about her kids, and I was like, what is this? I couldn't believe it. And a lot of that, you're just like, and a lot of it is just fake. You know that it's just fake. And that's just, but I couldn't believe how bad, it was just the most, and of course she's gonna make the next, you can tell because it's the same outfit, right? But it's gonna be the next video and the next video and the next, it's gonna keep you scrolling so you learn their mentality, right? And on all these different topics, and it was just sad. It was really sad. Now granted, that can happen on any platform, and that's, that's just the case, but I decided that if I'm gonna get toxic information on the internet, honestly, do we need more than one platform to do that?
Variety is the spice of life.
And it is one of those things where like, so YouTube Shorts reminds, I think YouTube made Shorts kind of in response to TikTok, because TikTok's very popular.
Yeah.
And the YouTube Shorts that I have coming through, I get a lot of lawyer shorts, and I get a lot of engineering.
Yeah.
And a lot of like project type short, which really is kind of inspiring.
Yeah. I think being a more typical social media user, you go to YouTube for long videos, you go to like TikTok or Instagram for shorts / photos.
Maybe. I mean, but who even does photos anymore? It's all video now, really, even on Instagram. It was all videos on Instagram. It's like, and it is it's one of those things that's like, do we contribute to that? And, when we were looking at making shorts, I like the shorts where it's like, here's a quick 60-second tour of an RV. Those actually, I love that. And it's kind of inspirational because you might see something, you're like, oh, I love that decoration, and you add that to your own rig, or maybe you're in the middle of shopping and you're like, I didn't know that existed. And so those are the types of things where I'm like, that's pretty good stuff. But I have found that like a lot of this, like I followed national parks on Instagram and was getting crap in return. And we searched RV on the TikTok, didn't follow anybody, and we're getting just trash, drama, and nonsense, which it's basically useless and sad, and just, So, and I know that's what people are attracted to, is like, oh, give me the tea, and I get that. I don't know.
Well, and I think most people have like their one preferential type of like media that they use.
Well, maybe, but I think it's very interesting because when we create videos to share not only our experiences and to make a connection, right? We talked about there's information and education, there's connection, and maybe a little inspiration, right? It's like there are places like this that it's incredible. This is why we do it.
Yeah. I
don't know what that solution is, but for us, or at least for me, we're not going to touch Instagram. We're not going to touch TikTok. For us, it's like, just focus on, we can only take in so much media at a time, and being intentional with that media, and me being the one to search out my own content, it's far better than, just suggested crap that I'm just going to endlessly scroll. And it's easy enough just to do that with long form content, but especially with short form content, I don't think it adds.
Yeah.
Not to me. You get a dopamine hit and that's it, but I haven't really learned, retained. I think that it doesn't really matter where you are, right? We could be in this most beautiful place, right? But if you don't change some of your mental habits, like doom scrolling on the news and all that, it's going to be the same prison. It's not real freedom. And I feel like we really, or at least for me, I feel even more freedom, even more joy out here, especially lately. Yeah. But it's a little different than being, every 5 days a week, you've got to go into a class.
Yeah, I think like trying to like adjust mentally to the pace of life being a lot slower is a little bit tricky because it's like, what do I do with all this time? And I'm the kind of person who like go, sleep, go, sleep. So like not having to go.
Well, it's a lot about routine too.
Right. So I think like trying to find ways to like add to my routine more positive things, like we're trying to get out and walk 10,000 steps a day. And it
felt good.
And at like 6 o'clock, I'm like, okay, I have to go out and walk some more. So like I'll go and I'll walk a couple laps or go like take a little hike or whatever. And Joel will choose to come with me most times. But like, I'm like, I gotta hit my 10,000 steps. So like, that's just like a goal I have for each day is like, I gotta do that. And I have other little goals like that I'm trying to do. I'm valuing, working out, going and sitting outside, things like that instead. Yeah,
I think it's a pretty big shift. I will say the other thing that's been a lot easier actually has been eating at home.
Yeah.
It just feels like, I can decompress, right? And I know a lot of people are like, it's so easy to eat at home. Like, it's not really a time thing necessarily, but it's a matter of like, what do you want to do with your time?
Right.
And it's sort of like, if you let yourself become bored, which we're never bored. We can bike, we can read. There's always YouTube, right?
Yeah.
But we love making these videos and taking the dogs for a walk or exercise or whatever. But if you give yourself a little bit of mental space, which is I think something that's harder to do in a big, the regular 9-to-5 jobs, if you give yourself that space, it's like food becomes an intentional choice.
Right.
Right.
Well, and like cooking is something that I enjoy doing. I just feel like when I was working every day, I wouldn't want to come home and cook after that. No. Now I kind of have the mental bandwidth to like do it. And it's not even like it's a lot, but it's just like the whole like act of like thinking it through, putting it together, taking the time to do it, and then cleaning up afterwards. Like,
yeah. Well, really what it comes down to, I think, is that if you work for 8 hours a day, which usually it's going to be 9 because you get an hour break, but that hour break is a controlled, like you're not free to do whatever you want, truly, right? Because you have travel times. If you wanted to go out and see, you want to go out and watch, you're not able to do that, right? If you wanted to go say hi to family, you don't have enough time to do that, right? You got to be back. So it's like, okay, you don't really have control over that 9-hour period. And so if you do what you love, this is a different conversation, I think. But regardless, it's like, okay, I've dedicated my time to this whatever. Then if you sleep for 8 hours, which ideally you do, or you're going to burn out, some people need less sleep, some people need more, I get that. But, okay, that time's already taken up. And then usually we have a warm-up period in the morning of an hour or two, right? So it really leaves the after work time, right? And if I work a 9 to 5 or often 8 to 5, okay, and I've got a hour commute, right? Maybe I say bye to coworkers and whatever after. So now I've got like 6 to 9, right? 3 hours to do what I want to feel free. And it's so much easier just to grab something along the way. And so it's easier to eat out. There's all these little habits that we have that you are spending more money on that food, but that's not the value in the moment. I think that's really what it comes down to.
Well, and then you throw in things for like people, like responsibilities that people have, like kids, like you have to feed your kids, you have to pick them up from school or daycare, you have to take them to sports practice, you have to do this and that. Like,
not to mention doctor's appointments, vehicle maintenance.
Well, and I think it's like
house maintenance.
And it's not even just kids either. It's like dogs. Like you have to take them for a walk. They need to be fed. You got to like exercise them. Like things like that. Like to make their lives fair too. So like it's other responsibilities that you have to do outside of just your job too. That then take into that me time, that freedom of what you are spending your time doing.
And it is nice because we have full control. And I think that's what freedom is about. You being in control, right? It's about you getting to do what, and it's just great. And I think it's easy enough to take for granted for some people, right? But I think the thing is that a lot of us think that we're going to have this, we're going to be able to control our own lives after we make a certain amount of money or after we reach a certain age. And the sad thing is that by the time that a lot of people get to exert that control, right? Retirement, let's say, they're too sick.
Yeah.
So they're not in control. Their body is, their ailments are. Oh gosh, or their partner and their doctor. And so anyways, it's nice to be able to enjoy it while we can here. And yeah, it's been a really nice change of pace.
Yeah.
Good, buddy. It's a good boy. Yeah. Man, time flies by when you're enjoying a lovely time like this. It actually doesn't even feel like we've been here for 2 days. It's just been great. And we are getting a little sprinkle every now and then. And you can see the dirt sort of spotting the dust all over everything. Oh, yeah, it's definitely not worth washing it anytime soon. We've got a lot of adventure to come. I think that social media, whether it be YouTube videos or Facebook or Instagram or TikTok, whatever, it can be so powerful. A great tool for education and connection and entertainment, but also it's easy to overdo. And I think that's the hardest part about all of this, is that we're not very good at not overdoing it, right? And so I don't know. I don't know what the answer is for everybody else, but for us, it's, use it like a tool, and that can be kind of hard. But yeah, also it's okay to be a little bored, to like sit in silence or just sit with yourself and enjoy a little meditation every now and then. Listen to your thoughts. I think a lot of people are afraid of that, but yeah, it's okay to turn off the news. That has been a huge upgrade. I genuinely cannot remember the last time I just sat down and watched, just the news. It's been great. Anyways, long story short, thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye. He's a good boy.